It's Dr. Isabella Wentz here, your thyroid pharmacist. I am a clinical pharmacist. I'm the author of the New York Times bestselling guide, Hashimoto's the Root Cause, the upcoming guide, Hashimoto's Protocol, as well as the current series that's going on called Thyroid Secret. I'm so excited to have you guys here checking in with me. Tonight we're going to be talking about the fertility and thyroid connection. This is a really, really important topic, and I'm so glad that you guys are here tuning in. If you're watching right now, if you could let me know that you're here, go ahead and leave me a comment to let me know that you're watching. Let me know your name and where you're from, and if you could just say hello. This episode of the Thyroid Secrets is, as an aspiring mom, this episode is really, really special and close to my heart because when I was first diagnosed with Hashimoto's, I found out that fertility was going to be a problem. And I found out that women with thyroid disease and Hashimoto's were at higher risk for having miscarriage. And so if you're watching this, I don't know if you're trying for a baby, I don't know if you're pregnant, I don't know if you've already had your children, but please, if you could share this to your timeline to let people know that proper thyroid care can prevent infertility, miscarriages, developmental disabilities, as well as postpartum depression. So not every case of infertility is caused by thyroid disease, not every miscarriage is caused by thyroid disease, certainly not every developmental disability or case of postpartum depression is caused by thyroid disease, but a significant portion of them are, and potentially we can prevent so many different, miscarriages. We could prevent women having to have in vitro fertilization. We can prevent having developmental disabilities. Autism, women who have thyroid disease are 80% more likely to have children with autism. I had to triple check when I first saw that statistic and look at this research, but yeah, this is really, really common potential risk factor for causing all of these things that are devastating but yet preventable. And so thank you so much for being here and for dialing in. Looks like I have a few people that are saying hello already. So Rosa, hello from New York. It's so great to see you. Alexis wants to know if it's possible to heal from Hashimoto's without changing her diet. So the thing is, and she's having a hard time keeping weight on. And so one of the things to keep in mind is for people that have a hard time keeping weight on, the Thyroid Secret series does cover that in episode 8, and that's going to be airing tomorrow, and that's focused on some of the gut infections. Gut infections can prevent proper absorption of nutrients, and that can cause you to have troubles with keeping your weight on. The Thyroid Secret series is a series that I created over the past year. I traveled around the country. I interviewed actually over 160 people about thyroid disease, and these included experts in thyroid disease, in fertility, in postpartum depression, as well as patients who have been there and have gone through it and have come out on the other side in most cases. And this series is really meant to give you a tool and resources so that you too can recover your health if you have a thyroid condition. And also to give you the tools that you need to find out if you might have a thyroid condition and how you can prevent having one in the future. So we know that women are very commonly affected with thyroid issues, and the statistics are crazy, where 1 in 3 women may be affected, and needlessly women lose their babies because of fertility issues that are due to thyroid disease. So they have miscarriages, or I've talked to some women who have had 20 miscarriages before they were finally properly diagnosed. And here's the thing, thyroid screening is not universal in pregnancy and in pre-pregnancy planning. So a lot of women, don't find out for a long, long time that why they're having miscarriages or why perhaps their children were born with developmental disabilities. So there's thyroid tests you need to do, TSH, free T3, free T4, and thyroid antibodies to figure out if you have potentially thyroid disease, and then you need to have that treated appropriately. And many times the doctors are not reading the guidelines, and women will have inadequate amounts of thyroid hormone when in fact most women feel their best with the TSH between 0.5 and 2. Some will not treat a woman unless her TSH is above 10. And then we really run the high risk of having miscarriage when we have a TSH that high. Another thing is thyroid antibodies specifically have been correlated with autism, and 80% chance higher of having a child born with autism if you have thyroid antibodies. Now, this is something that's so important, and the Thyroid Secrets series covers all the strategies and interventions that you can take on to figure out why you have thyroid antibodies and how to lower and get rid of them so they no longer pose a risk to you and your family. Shauna says, hi from Canada. I've already had my children, but fabulous information for my daughters. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys do share this, especially this important episode, with every single woman you know, and any man that loves a woman, really, because so many of us, we're humans, we reproduce, we want to have children, and we don't want anything to stand in our way of having a healthy child and a healthy pregnancy. Patty from Missouri, hello. Mary Lena, hello. Tony from Washington. Georgia's in the house. Hello, Azala. Dorleen from Texas, nice to see you. Sandy from Colorado, hello. Rosa says, this was an eye-opener today. Yeah, you guys, thyroid disease is no joke, and it can cause a lot of problems. Some studies actually suggest that cases of postpartum depression and even postpartum psychosis could be due to thyroid disease. And so potentially we could be saving women's lives and their babies' lives if we get this message out there. Maria Elaine, back to watching from Chicago. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. What a great smile. Devin from Chicago. Hello. Chicago's in the house tonight. Shakria says, the episode I'm waiting for. That's awesome. She's almost due. That's so exciting. Rosa says she wasn't able to become pregnant, and she was wondering if this could be a factor. Very much potentially thyroid disease is a reversible cause of infertility, and this is something that can be really, really, resolved for you, and I'm so excited to share this information with you. One of my clients that I was working with a few years ago, she came to me with like 12 different symptoms and fatigue and irritable bowel syndrome, just feeling awful, and we were able to reverse all that with working together, with addressing her nutrition, addressing her diet, figuring out what her root causes were. And she was really, really thrilled because that opened the door for her to become pregnant. And she was able to get her body optimized. There are things you need to do, actually, whether you have thyroid disease or not, to prepare your body for pregnancy. And we also covered that in today's episode, episode 7. Megan says, I wish I had known this. My oldest has autism, and I just happened to switch to paleo between pregnancies, and my second is typical. Megan, I'm sorry that this information wasn't out there for you before, and I'm really, this is a big reason why I'm so passionate about getting this message out into the world, because I know that people desperately need it, because we can prevent these conditions that affect us and our children and our future generations. And it's quite amazing what we can do by changing up our nutrition and dialing into our root causes. Rosa said, the hair loss postpartum was very enlightening. Yep. So if you are a woman that just had a baby and you've lost your hair, you're losing your hair, maybe you're losing weight, or you're anxious, or you're just exhausted and sleeping, a lot, it's not just because you're a new mom. Thyroid disease oftentimes strikes women right after they give birth because, let's face it, ladies, giving birth is a really big stressor on the body. And if you're not properly nourished before your pregnancy and during your pregnancy, you're at risk for potentially having postpartum thyroid issues. And this is very, very common and very commonly missed or misdiagnosed as depression, or just new mommy syndrome. But if you're losing hair, or if you're having a hard time losing weight, or even if you're losing weight too fast, or if you're anxious or tired, this is a sign that something is off about your thyroid. Taryn said, wish I had been diagnosed. She had a preemie that was later declared to be caused by Hashimoto's. And so she got brushed off as tired, scatterbrained mom who just needed to eat right and exercise, even though she was obviously suffering from hypothyroidism after her firstborn. And so, yeah, a simple blood test, ladies, could prevent problems with your babies. So getting your TSH, free T3, free T4, thyroid antibodies tested, this is key. And, the thyroid secret is not just about spreading awareness. We're also spreading solutions. So I traveled the country to interview over 100 experts. And I have to say episode 7 was very dear to my heart because I'm a future aspiring mom, right? And this was something that I really wanted to get out into the world, is how to ensure that you have a healthy pregnancy and how to take the right precautions so that you give your children the best possible outcomes and really give yourself an opportunity to thrive during this important time and not suffer through it. Nice to see you guys on here. Monica said, I had 3 miscarriages and after 8 years had only my son. He's 11. She has endometriosis, Hashimoto's, and fibromyalgia. It's been a blessing to have this information. Thank you. You're helping other women to take action before it's too late. Thank you for sharing that, Monica. And I'm so sorry that you went through all of this. And I'm really glad that you do have a son. That's so wonderful. And I'm really glad to hear that you're empowering yourself. This is what we need to do, is we need to get ourselves this information and take charge. This information is out there and it's up to you to advocate for yourself. I don't want to say don't trust doctors, but make sure that you get the right kind of doctors. When we were discussing the prevalence of thyroid disorders in women and the proper thyroid care, Dana Trentini from Hypothyroid Mom, she's a wonderful, wonderful patient advocate, and she mentioned that only about 20 to 30% of the doctors that were treating women, gynecologists and obstetricians that were treating women with thyroid conditions during pregnancy, less than 30% actually had read the current guidelines. So there's a chance that your doctor does not know these guidelines and you need to educate yourself and check this information out. So Anne says, hi from South Dakota. Shukriya says, yes, I'm almost due, but I would love some tips on how to deal with my postpartum. Became very ill after all my births. Shukriya, I hope that you watch episode 7 because I think that will give you a lot of great opportunities on how to address your condition. Emil says, is it the antibodies that cause infertility or low thyroid function? Emil, actually both have been correlated with infertility and miscarriage and developmental disabilities. I called my doctor to get low-dose naltrexone and she wouldn't give it to me, saying that it isn't approved by the FDA to treat Hashimoto's. I will not stop trying to get it. I'm really excited to hear that you're taking action. I think that's really, really wonderful. I highly believe that LDN can be very, very helpful. And, you don't want to go to a doctor that doesn't know how to use it. Like, let's just face it, you don't want to be a doctor's first guinea pig for a medication. So trust me, I am a pharmacist by training. I've been a pharmacist for over 10 years now. And drugs are no joke. You need to have proper training to dispense them. You need to have proper training to prescribe them. And you do not want to go to a doctor that doesn't know how to use these medications. You want to go to somebody that knows how to use them. One of the things I recommend is going to a compounding pharmacy or calling a compounding pharmacy in your area that dispenses low-dose naltrexone and ask them if they have a referral list for doctors. These are the doctors that are going to know how to use it correctly, and they're going to know how to dose you on it correctly because, again, this is a drug that is helpful in a certain kind of dose range. And this dose range is going to be a little bit different for every person. It's going to depend on your weight, on your gender, on your current body status, and how overall, like how you're metabolizing the drugs. So you definitely want to be working with somebody that knows what they're doing. Just because somebody is a doctor, and I mean this in the kindest way, that doesn't mean that they know everything about everything. They may not know anything about your thyroid and how to manage it during fertility. And they may not know how to actually treat and prescribe low-dose naltrexone. I was really, really excited. We released the Thyroid Secret documentary series in January. This was our sneak peek We released it to a small group of about 100,000 people. We've got about 500,000 that have joined in for the series this time around. And Dr. Jolene was one of the doctors that was featured in the thyroid documentary series. And she is somebody that was a doctor herself, had postpartum depression. And now she helps other women with thyroid issues to care for them, preparing their bodies for pregnancy, to optimize their thyroid care during pregnancy, and then prevent issues and treat issues postpartum. So she said, this patient found me through the Thyroid Secret documentary and made an appointment in hopes of healing her hypothyroidism before pregnancy. But between the time she scheduled the visit, she had become pregnant. She had been refused thyroid testing and medications by several doctors before finally having her thyroid tested. Her OB had recommended she find a different provider to manage her thyroid. When she came to my office, she told me about her situation, and then the doctor wouldn't have the results for another week. I immediately had my assistant get her lab results and started her on thyroid medication that day. At 8 weeks pregnant and hypothyroid, she was at increased risk of miscarriage, and baby was at risk of neurological and other developmental issues. If this patient had not watched the Thyroid Secret, she may have lost her baby, which is incredibly devastating for any woman. She has since met with her OB again for an ultrasound and reports the baby is looking healthy. So, you guys, I hope that you take this time to educate yourself about the fertility and thyroid connection. And please, please, please share this with as many people as you can. If you could share this Facebook Live on your timeline, you never know who of your friends is looking to get pregnant or thinking about fertility. And we know that miscarriage, developmental disabilities, postpartum depression can all be caused by thyroid disease. And best of all, they can all be prevented with proper thyroid care. I do have a link in here where people can watch the Thyroid Secret for free, tinyurl.com, TTSE7, and then they can also get the series set at thethyroidsecret.com/silver, as well as all of the interviews. So in full interviews of every single interview that I did for the Thyroid Secret through thethyroidsecret.com/gold. So these are some options for you guys. I really, really appreciate you dialing in and checking out with me or hanging out with me tonight. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. I really appreciate that. So Nora says, where do I start? Tons of information. So Nora, I suggest that you watch the series and kind of let it absorb and take some notes and kind of let it resonate with you and see what feels right for you. Nutrition is oftentimes a really, really great place to start for most people. But other people, they may find that other avenues are a better place. So they might find that doing some meditation might be the best way for them to start. Rachel says, ever since I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, I have one big eye and one small eye. It's very noticeable. It looks like I have a lazy eye. Do you know what this could be? One of the things that can happen is about 30% of people with thyroid disease with Hashimoto's have thyroid eye disease, and that can affect their eyelids. This is something that is reversible with getting through reducing your thyroid antibodies, getting your nutrition in balance, and getting your getting rid of your food sensitivities. So I would highly encourage you to start taking some pictures right now, and then follow up with this every few months as you start making changes and interventions, and take more pictures to see how you do. So this is something I've seen commonly as a symptom of thyroid disease in about 30%, and all of the interventions that we share in this series can actually be helpful for you. Dawn says, I wish I would have known this when I went through so much self-blaming, heartache, infertility treatments, and depression. Dawn, I want to give you a hug right now. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, and you deserve to know the truth, and that's why we've put out the Thyroid Secret out into the world. And it's really important for me to get this message out into a big way, as many people as possible. So thank you guys all who are sharing this on your timeline. I really, really do appreciate it. We're going to want to make sure that you get this information I want to make sure that you guys try to get this information to as many people as possible, because a lot of people are affected by thyroid disease and they just don't know it. And a lot of times they could be depressed, or they can have a miscarriage or struggle with fertility issues when their thyroid is not properly cared for. But proper thyroid care can prevent all that. And Rosa said, thank you. I bought the program today. Thank you for the new packages. So I did want to share with you guys a little bit about the packages that we have. I actually just got some in the mail. It's kind of heavy. My husband just had to carry it upstairs for me because it's a lot of great stuff here. So I'm going to put it down here and I'll give you a little bit of unraveling of what we have. So we have 2 packages where you can, the Thyroid Secret, my mission was to get this out into the world in a really, really big way. And I spent about a year traveling around the country, interviewing various experts. Just over 167 people were interviewed. We had a full-scale production team with videographers, production assistants. We're sending flights all around and renting different studios. So this was definitely not a low-budget project. This is something that was very time-consuming and very pricey. And we decided to release it out into the world into a model where, similar to the Summit model, where it's free to watch for everybody. But at the same time, if you wanted to own it and support our mission, you actually have the option of purchasing either the digital version of it that you could watch at any time or the DVD sets. And so I wanted to share with you the beautiful sets that I just got in the mail today. Just as a heads up, if you were with us during the initial screening and had ordered your packages already, those are starting to ship out today and tomorrow and the day after and this week and next. So you should be getting this in the mail. If you got the gold package, expect a big heavy box and you may need somebody to help you with it. So this is one of the things that's in the box. This is case 2 of 3 of all of the interviews that we did. So let me get case 3 of 3 is here, and then we have case 1 of 3. And so we have interviews with over 167 people. So full, beautiful interviews. We try to edit out all of the filler words and all that other stuff, so you guys will have a beautiful experience with this. They're all very high def and high quality. I'm going to open this up, so pardon the noise. And ta-da! So this is what it looks like. It's quite beautiful on the front. And then when I open up this DVD case, so hopefully they don't all fly out, we've got these beautiful DVDs on the inside. And each, when you get the gold package, you end up getting, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 DVDs in this package. Then you get 10 DVDs in this package, and then 8 DVDs here, so you can watch, or 6 DVDs, so you could watch at your leisure, and you could watch every single interview that we did. We also have the DVD set, so this is a nice, beautiful, sleek DVD set, and this has all 9 of the episodes. So every single episode of The Thyroid Secret is on this DVD set, and you can watch this on your big screen. You can invite your friends and family over. You can get this as a gift for your loved ones that may need to hear the information that maybe didn't have time to dial in during the free screening. And this is what it looks like on the outside. So I'm very, very proud of how these turned out. They're quite beautiful, and they can really help you on your journey. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 DVDs total here, and each DVD has the episodes on there. So episode 1 through 9 are on this DVD set. All right, I'm not done here yet, so clear my throat, excuse me. And this is the Thyroid Secret transcript book. So whether you get the digital package or whether you get the physical package, you're going to get transcripts for every single interview that we did, so that if you maybe don't have the time to watch, or if you're, like to watch and read along, you have the option to do that and go back and highlight. This is a great way to absorb information. And then, last but not least, in the gold package, this is a little bit heavy. It's like an encyclopedia of thyroid disease. This is the Thyroid Secrets. This is every single transcript for every single interview that we did. And as you could tell, this is a little bit heavy. I'm going to be doing my exercises with it as also reading it too. This is something that is over 1,000 pages long, and this contains every single transcript of every single interview that we did, so you can always go back to it. So this is one option. This is the gold option that is available in physical or digital formats. And we also have the silver option, which is available in digital and physical format as well. And the silver option includes the DVD set of episode 1 through 9, as well as all of the transcripts from episode 1 to 9. So you can learn everything about recovering your health. So the most important information we put in here, and anything extra and anything like that we couldn't get into the documentary series is going to be in this and the bonus interviews. So for example, if something really resonated with you within one of the speakers or the episodes, you can go back and watch the entire interview that we did with that speaker. So this is something that's been really, really exciting for me to get out into the world. I am very, very thrilled at how it turned out. I'm very proud of it. It has been a lot of work. So my husband and I actually we are planning a family, so that's gonna be something that has been put a little bit on the back burner just because we wanted to make sure we got the documentary series out into the world. So I wanted to see what questions you guys had. Denise wants to know, what is LDN? So LDN is a low-dose naltrexone, and this is a medication that can be very helpful for balancing the immune system and helping to get Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, and Graves into remission. And it can also help people become pregnant. So it can be very helpful for fertility issues and preventing postpartum issues. This is a treatment that I'm personally thinking about doing for fertility and for pregnancy planning because it's safe to use during pregnancy. There are studies that show that. It's been tested even in high doses in pregnancy, and the fertility outcomes are actually positive, and we have less of a risk for having postpartum thyroiditis. Anyone know the link to watch? So Kara wants to know, and that's tinyurl.com, TTSE7 is the link to watch today's episode. So you will register for that, and then we'll take you to a schedule page where you can see how to register for today's episode. Kara also says Lyme and Epstein-Barr virus can be the root cause. Exactly. So it's really, really important for you to figure out thyroid disease, why it's happening, and how to address it. And so one of the things that I recommend is going after the root cause of thyroid disease. Noelle wants to know, can you tell me how thyroid affects your period? So absolutely, people may have heavier periods, irregular periods, or lighter periods, and even menstrual cramps when they have thyroid disease. So this is something that can be a potential root cause of having menstrual irregularities. Andrea says, I love the episode. Let's see. You guys have questions, please go ahead and let me know. Let's see. Alexis wants to know, what kind of lotion do you use? I'm looking for a body lotion without toxins. I really like Acure. This is a really, really great brand. But of course, everybody's going to want to choose their own brands. Olivia said, I tested positive for Hashimoto's and Graves' antibodies, but right now I'm hyperthyroid. This can happen. I'm on LDN and changed my diet. Great job taking action. One thing I didn't realize was Epstein-Barr virus can cause thyroid issues, gaining weight and feeling a lot better. Thanks again for the thyroid secret. How thoughtful, and I truly appreciate it and will spread the word. Thank you so much for sharing that, Olivia. And episode 8 covers Epstein-Barr virus as a root cause and gives you some of the strategies that can help. So I hope that will help you. Nora wants to know if the packages are shipping to Mexico. So they are, and just so you guys know, we have digital packages and physical packages. And digital is on your computer, and this is something that anybody in the world can get. And physical packages are also shipping every place in the world. So anywhere that you, Mexico, Australia, I know we had a lot of folks dial in from Canada, Australia. We're shipping the Thyroid Secret packages everywhere. So we're shipping the DVD sets, we're shipping the books, and everything will go to you if you choose to own the Thyroid Secret. And of course, I would really appreciate it if you guys did choose to support our mission and did choose to get the series, because it helps us to get this information out into the world. Also helps us to create more products that are helpful for people, and really it really helps you because this information will be with you forever, and you'll be able to go through it anytime you need a dose of inspiration, or anytime you're like, hey, there's something that is happening, and where did I hear that before? Then you can just rewatch, or you can look through the booklets when you do own the series, because we're only putting it online for about a week, so for 9 days. And some people have asked, they said, okay, so I've seen some of the Facebook comments like, why can't you leave it up longer? Why can't you leave it up longer? And the way that the model works is we do have a lot of people that are behind the scenes, and it's very expensive to actually keep this stuff online for free for you guys. And we are using the model where it's free to watch, and at the same time, if you wanted to own it, then we do have the options for you to get the packages. And this is a way that we can support our team, and that we can cover our expenses. My hubby and I did have to dip into our savings for creating the series for you, because we want it to be inspirational, touching. We wanted to be high quality, get the top experts. I spent over 1,000 hours editing it and making sure that gave you all the most helpful information. We hired a really stellar team to give you a beautiful experience, from designers to videographers to video producers, and an amazing tech team and a customer service team, just to give you guys this fantastic experience and to help you to get this message out into the world. So I do hope that if you guys support the series, I'm going to be very, very grateful for that. Part of that, to incentivize you, is we're going to be giving away some prizes. So I'll announce what some of the prizes are for people that choose to own the series. So we're doing like a fun raffle, and we're also giving $1 for every package to charity. So every time you buy either the silver version, the digital, the physical, the gold, we're going to be donating $1 to Down Syndrome Diagnosis Network. So if you watch today's episode, you'll know that children with Down syndrome are oftentimes going to have thyroid issues. And the sad thing is they're often misdiagnosed, or undiagnosed, or untreated, because doctors will just say, oh, well, your child is supposed to be tired, they have Down syndrome, or they're supposed to be overweight. And so what we're doing is we're donating $1 to Down Syndrome Diagnosis Network to support this organization, so that they can get the education out there to parents and help children and families out in the world who have a family member with Down syndrome. So I'm really, really excited about this. And if you guys support the mission, we're going to be very, very grateful for that. So Edith said, I'm buying the silver combo and I'm really excited. Thanks so much. She said, I usually watch every episode and I have to rewatch every time. And every time I hear something that I missed. So this is another great reason is, we packed these episodes so full of great information that if you do want to rewatch them at your own leisure, we do have the options for you, and hopefully they're going to be, we wanted to make sure there was options for everybody on every single budget. So hopefully that will fit for you. Let's see here. Tammy says, I wanted to answer some of your questions, and also if you're watching, I would encourage you to share this to your timeline so that other people can watch and then they could find out about the connection between thyroid disorders and fertility. Tammy says, I found out that I had Hashis 20 years after my thyroid was removed. What besides Naltrexone should I take? So there's a lot of different things that you can do, and one of the things I would recommend is dialing in your nutrition to figure out what your potential triggers may have been. So for some people, the triggers are food. For other people, their triggers may be infections or nutrient deficiencies. And as you go through the series, Tammy, I hope that you will learn some things that maybe resonate with you, because a lot of times, even if you get your thyroid gland removed, you may still be at risk for other types of autoimmune conditions if the trigger is not removed. Beth wants to know, what set should I get to get all that I need to start getting myself back on track? So Beth, both sets will have information for you that can help you get started back on track. I think it depends on the kind of person you are. So I'm the kind of person that likes to know everything and likes to basically dive into all the research before I make my decisions. And so for me, I would get the gold package. If you're somebody that wants something to get started and to jump right in, I would get the silver package, because the silver package gives you the fundamentals of what you need to do to take back your health. So we cover those things like nutrition and nutrient deficiencies and adrenal issues. So those are kind of like depending on the kind of person you are. Edith says, I can't hear a word. Edith, you may want to turn up the volume on your computer. I hope everybody else can hear, so let me know if you guys can hear me. Audrey says, thank you for doing this big job. It's a pleasure to listen and look at your program. And that thyroid has given you a new goal in your life. Is this information also usable for Europe? Thanks so much, Audrey, for the kind words. Yes, so the information is usable in Europe, and our packages actually ship anywhere in the world. So Europe, Australia, the UK, Africa, Asia, anywhere you are, we can ship the packages to you. And you can also order digital access. Whenever you get the physical packages, like the books and the DVDs, you also get immediate digital access. So I know that it might take a little bit longer for us to get to you in Europe, but you'll get the digital access right away, so you can watch all of the different episodes. And Gina wanted to know about the lotion. So I like Acure, A-C-U-R-E brand. I found that to be most helpful. Noelle, what would you personally recommend for those who aren't being treated with medicine yet but have symptoms and off-the-charts antibodies? So one of the things that can be very helpful for antibodies is getting on a selenium supplement. 200 micrograms of selenium can really help. And then really dialing in your nutrition. So those would be my first steps: is gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and selenium. In some cases, it may actually help for you to get on a low dose of thyroid hormone as well, such as natural desiccated thyroid. Edie said, I went into menopause early. I assume this was from my Hashimoto's. So there is something that's connected to Hashimoto's known as premature ovarian failure. I don't share it very often in my blog or anywhere else, but I actually had that when I was first diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I also had the markers of premature ovarian failure, which basically would have meant that I could be going through early menopause and not have the potential to have children. Luckily, I have been able to get that into remission, as I was able to get into Hashimoto's into remission, and I definitely am not, in menopause or anything like that. And so this is something that can be reversed if you do have premature ovarian failure. This can be a cross-reactivity between your thyroid gland and your ovaries, and the same things that you're doing to address your thyroid function can help you with that as well. If one tests positive for both Graves' and Hashi's but is currently hyperthyroid, would you mainly just treat the Graves'? So here's the deal. So if you, the treatment approaches for Hashimoto's and Graves' disease are going to be very similar, where both conditions are going to have similar root causes. So we're going to be looking at nutrient deficiencies, infections, food sensitivities. So a lot of the things that you're going to be doing, you would work effectively for both conditions. The only caveat here is when you have Graves' disease and an overactive thyroid, you want to suppress thyroid hormones. And so you could do this with thyroid hormone suppressing medications. You could do this with herbs, which are covered throughout the documentary series. And then you can do this with low-dose naltrexone. So this can actually stabilize Graves' disease in some cases and prevent hyperthyroidism and normalize it. On the other hand, if you have an underactive thyroid and Hashimoto's, we oftentimes want to support thyroid hormones, so we want to increase them. And so the options for that are going to be thyroid hormones, could be synthetic or natural, and then low-dose naltrexone is also an option at this point. So again, we kind of are looking at the whole root cause approach for both conditions, and then depending if we're overactive, we want to suppress the hormones, and if we're underactive, we want to boost the hormones. So I hope that really helps. LDN and all the lifestyle changes can be very effective for both conditions. Linda says, hair turning gray early, does that have anything to do with Hashimoto's? Absolutely. So selenium deficiency is a trigger for both. So that's something that I would look into for sure. Beth wants to know the cost of the silver package. So that's going to be $47 for the silver package, and we have a link to it if you wanted to learn more about it. If you go to the description here, series set, there's a link, thyroidsecret.com/silver. Apple cider vinegar, Antonique wants to say, yes, I do use apple cider vinegar. It can be very helpful for boosting stomach acid, and we talk about that in episode 8. Leslie says, so much work, you reap what you sow, it'll come back to you tenfold. Thank you so much. Yeah, the documentary series has always been, it's never been something I really wanted to do, so I used to be very, very uncomfortable on camera. I used to just hide from cameras whenever they were around and hated doing videos, and now it's like no big deal. I had to spent about 6 months traveling away from my hubby, in my home, and you know, it was a lot of hours of work. So I'm not gonna lie, the sleep doctor and I have been on the phone quite a few times because I have needed his advice. Sometimes I've had to stay up very late to make sure the series was a success and make sure I get out for you. Both my husband and I have, and so hopefully you guys, this message, I know it's been 100% worth it, because just seeing all of your comments and seeing your taking action and all the inspiration you've had has been so exciting for me, and it's been tremendously gratifying. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about prizes. I actually have to cut today's Facebook Live short. So for anybody that orders any of our packages, whether that's silver or gold, the digital or physical, we're doing a contest every day. So I've asked all of our experts and some of the companies that I really liked if they would donate things to our contest. And we've got some exciting prizes for you. And so today's contest, some of you, if you guys turned into episode 6, I hope that you loved it. You might have met a character named JP Sears. So he is the funny guy that makes videos, he's an ultra spiritual guy. And he is very silly, and I did a little bit of a parody with him, a little bit of a satire where he kind of, I don't want to give it away, but he kind of made fun of me for having a thyroid condition, which a lot of people, he said a lot of the things that people would say to you, but he kind of said it to your face, to my face, and so a lot of people loved it. I'm actually going to his book signing tonight in Boulder, so he just came out with a new book called How to Be Ultra Spiritual, and if you guys are looking for a good laugh, laughter is a great medicine. This is something that is available on Amazon, and I'm also giving away a copy of his new book for today's contest. I'm also giving away a DVD set for workouts from Natalie Jill Fitz. So she's the fitness darling that gave me quite a workout. A lot of these things are coming to my house, so I'm finally getting them in. I wanted to show you guys whenever I have them. A consumer introductory kit from NES. So this is a breakthrough program that helped Harry Massey recover from Addison's and Hashimoto's. A copy of Dr. Christensen's Adrenal Reset Diets. A VIP package for Dr. Alan Christensen's clinic at Integrative Health, and this includes all of his books. It includes food sensitivity testing, 1 clinic visit, 1 month of thyroid hormones, of meds like natural hormones, as long as, of course, you need them. If you don't need them, they're not going to give them to you. And then a month of supplements tailored to you, and then 1 month adrenal reset shakes, which is something that he utilizes to help people balance their adrenals. We have 2 signed copies of the Adrenal Thyroid Revolution from the lovely Dr. Aviva Ram, who was talking about adaptogens in episode 6. 10 copies of a cookbook, Replenish Kitchen Cookbook from Dr. Aviva Ram, 2 full scholarships to my program, Hacking Hashimoto's Self-Management, and 5 signed copies of my New York Times best-selling book, Hashimoto's The Root Cause. So this is available on Amazon, and we're also giving away copies of it. If you guys, this book has been what I wrote when I first recovered my health from thyroid disease. It's got over 1,600 reviews. I'm very, very proud of that because people have said it's helped them take back their health. The Hashimoto's Protocol book, which you see behind me, I actually just got that in the mail today, or this week. This actually comes out March 28th, and we're giving that away for everybody that gets the gold package within the United States. So that's the fun and exciting stuff I had to share to you guys today. Another thing is, if you didn't open today's emails for whatever reasons, we did the pregnancy and fertility episode today, and I also released my bonus interview on Hashimoto's today. So make sure that you check into that. This is the interview that is inside of the gold package. So if you hadn't seen that, make sure that you check it out, and the links are going to be in your email, and this is kind of a surprise bonus. So want to get through some of your questions. I have Gina wants to know if Botox is considered dangerous for Hashimoto's. So Gina, it's interesting because there are actually studies that show that Botox has similar antibodies to it, has similar proteins to it that the thyroid gland does, and there may be some cross-reactivity between Hashimoto's and Botox. So I don't know anybody clinically that has had an adverse reaction, but the research suggests that there may be an adverse reaction. So I'd be interested in hearing about your experience. Stephanie said, I have leaky gut caused by Candida. Is it necessary that I give up gluten and dairy? Gluten and dairy, about 88% of people feel better gluten-free and 80% feel better dairy-free. Candida is one of those things that can make us gluten and dairy sensitive. So I would recommend that you do combine Candida protocols with gluten and dairy diet. The longer that you have a leaky gut and the longer you're eating gluten and dairy, the less chances you have of regaining the gluten and dairy, if that makes sense, because then that can get built into your body as a significant, stronger immune response. Lori says, I'm methimazole, and now doctor says I have Hashis. How did that happen? And so sometimes the conditions can go back and forth. A big percentage of people with Graves' disease can actually have Hashimoto's antibodies. This is why it's so important to really look at the underlying root cause, which is usually going to be an immune system imbalance induced by food sensitivities, nutrient deficiencies, toxins, adrenal insufficiencies, and stress, gut permeability, infections, those kinds of things. So you guys, I highly encourage you to empower yourself with the series and take this information. Hi, Isabella. Soon says, I'm going to have vitamin D, ferritin tested, TSH, total T4, total T3, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, TPO, thyroglobulin, CRP, TNF alpha, interleukin 6 check out. What am I missing? So great. I'm so excited to hear that you're doing that. So you also wanted to add B12 to that panel. And if possible, I would get early antigen antibodies for Epstein-Barr virus to see if you haven't reactivated Epstein-Barr virus, and that could be potentially a root cause, and that can be done through a blood test. If you're going to be giving the vampire's blood, you might as well, throw that in there too, right? Alrighty. Mata shared her dosage of thyroid hormones. Christy says, thank you for this documentary. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Ginger says that was the good moment with JP, and Jennifer says he's hilarious. Yes, I agree. He's so funny, and looking forward to seeing him in Boulder for his book signing. Today is his official book launch, and really pleased that he chose Boulder, Colorado as the place for that. Ginger wants to know, can you purchase her workouts too? Yes, so Natalie Jill Fit does have her workouts available for purchase. So she has DVDs and a wonderful book. The cool thing about Natalie Jill is, I don't know if you guys know this, but she didn't start working out until like her 40s. And she is fit. Like, I got to meet her, and she's So the thing about Natalie, so she's super fit, really strong, wonderful woman. She didn't start working out until her 40s. And I don't know if you guys know this, but she actually has celiac disease. So she's an autoimmune patient as well, and she was able to recover her health. And one of the things that you'll get, part of the prizes, is this, pardon my reach here while I bump my head into the screen, is her Jumpstart Diet, Unprocess Your Diet with Easy Recipes. And, because she does have celiac disease herself, everything is going to be gluten-free in here. So this is great for people with thyroid disease, and really gorgeous book. I actually, full disclosure, when I got this in the mail, I thought about keeping it for myself and not giving it away. JP did send me a book for me that he signed, And this one here that I have is signed by him for whoever the lucky person that wins it gets it. So these are some prizes, and I also will be giving away signed copies of my book, Hashimoto's The Root Cause. So hopefully you guys will enter in, and basically the way to enter in the contest is to submit your name and receipt number. We sent out an email about the process this morning, so go ahead and check into that. If you haven't gotten it, let us know, and we will, wishing you best of luck. So not everybody enters, and you have a pretty good chance of winning, because we have, actually for today, we have 24 prizes with a combined value of $2,600. And if you choose to own the series today, you can also enter in for tomorrow's contest, and we have $2,200 worth of prizes for tomorrow. And then for March 9th, we also have $2,600 worth of prizes, and total of like 60 more prizes to go. And might be adding some new ones. So go ahead, and if you already got the package the first time around during the series yesterday or today, go ahead and keep entering the contest, because you never know, you might just win. And then Christy says great prizes, so great to hear that. Let's see here. Oh, Andrea says, my husband suffers from Addison's, type 1 diabetes, hypothyroidism, and celiac disease. What supplements and vitamins could help him? So, definitely a lot of the thyroid supplements are going to be covered for him in this episode. I would highly encourage him to look at treating, figuring out what gut infection he might have, potentially what viral infections. Episode 8 is going to be very crucial for him. And I would also have him look into the NES system, the NES system developed by Harry Massey. So Harry is somebody that was able to recover from Addison's and Hashimoto's using this. And it's actually kind of a different type of system to support the body. We covered this in episode 6, and you can check out Harry's full entire interview is in the gold package as well. So for anybody that has that gold package, I encourage you to check that out. Definitely, I would encourage potentially working with adrenal supplements as well. Of course, I can't give like dosages or recommendations, but we have seen that treating people with adrenal supplements can be very helpful for those with Addison's. Hopefully that helps. And then camel milk for type 1 diabetes may be helpful. These are all fabulous interventions that you can utilize, and it's wonderful that he has you, and together perhaps you guys can overcome your conditions, and both of the, for your thyroid condition and for his conditions, the same lifestyle interventions are going to apply. So this is a journey that you both can undertake to get yourself well. Michelle says, hi from Arizona. Jen says, love all your videos, so educational, thank you. Here from Boston, Hashi's girl. Hello, Jen, love Boston. Let's see here. How do you know when you have repaired your gut, and also how do you know when you no longer have candida? So your bowel movements should be really great, and then, like your normal bowel movements every day, well-formed consistency, no stomach aches, no bloating, no irritability. That's going to be really helpful. Soon says, thanks so much. And Chris says, keep falling asleep watching the series and hoping to catch them later, but haven't had the time because I had to work the next day. I guess I just have to deal with hypothyroid. And then Chris said he's going to order the series. So actually that makes sense, because then you could watch it at your leisure. So I know it's hard to watch it, within the 24-hour period. It may not always be possible. The way we set up this model is I really love it, because people who perhaps have a little bit more time and less resources, like students and people who are retired, they have the time to watch. And then people who maybe have more resources and have jobs and responsibilities generally are going to have the resources to own the series. And that way it's sort of like, when you own the series, you're not just supporting our mission, and you're not just supporting yourself, but you're also supporting people that normally wouldn't have been able to get access to this information, because you're in effect, we're kind of crowdfunding the series that way, where we're creating it for people to help them with their condition, and people that can contribute, people that are able to contribute contribute to the mission, and then you also get this phenomenal education for yourself to keep forever, as well as an opportunity to share this and educate people who may not be able to normally have access to this information. Soon says, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. All right, so please keep up the live feedback on Facebook, so crucial and valuable, so really great to hear that. You already gave us so many gifts. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Are we automatically enrolled in the contest after purchase? Rosa wants to know. You're not. So one of the things you want to do is you want to, after you have your purchase, you want to submit your receipt to us through a form, and the email about this went out this morning. And you actually have until 10 p.m. Eastern time to submit. So actually that's coming up in an hour. So and I have to jump off soon because I have to go see JP's book signing, but so you'll have that information in the email that went out this morning on how to submit to this year, how to submit to the contest. So I wanted to wish you best of luck. I am going to run now. I'm looking forward to doing talking with you guys tomorrow. If you want me to do another maybe Facebook Live tomorrow during the day, let me know in the comments after this. I'll be checking the comments after I get back from JP's book signing, and I'll definitely be doing another Facebook Live tomorrow night, same time, same place, and let me know if you want me to do one during the day to talk about Hashimoto's specifically. All right, guys, so good to see you tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Thank you so much.